Michael Monroe played at Peabody's Down Under, and I had a chance to talk to him. He was hanging out in the WMMS studios earlier this week, and here's that conversation on MMS. It's good to have you back in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's great to be here again, too.
Yeah, so how are things going? You've got a new album, right?
Yeah.
And what have you been doing up until this point?
Well, I've been trying to I've been getting my life together as basically getting used to the idea of being a solo artist, which I never wanted to be, really. I wanted to be in a rock band, I moved to New York. I did an album. I moved out of London because I wanted to get away from the past associations and make a new start, kind of, because I had to, start all over again after Hanoi split. And I went, moved to New York. Actually, I met Little Steven in London that summer, '85, and after the band had split up and stuff, and we became good friends. He actually came over to produce Steve Bader's Lords of New Church single. And then later that summer he invited me to do the Sun City thing, sing some backup vocals, and then later in November we came over to the video in New York, and that's when I decided to move over there. Steven's been a real good friend, real supportive of my solo career since then. And in the following year I did some, I had a band. We played a tour in Finland a couple of weeks, and I split the band up right afterwards because the guy's heads got too big. He couldn't fit in the rehearsal room anymore.
Oh, no.
Then I did this album, '87, A Couple Nights Are So Long, which is like a little... I had a deal with the Finnish... I got a small deal with a Finnish label. Well, a small Finnish label with the... I guess it was a big deal for them when I got like $30,000 to do this record in New York, and most people don't make a single for that amount of money, so I just had to do something, and it was mostly cover tunes to it. My old favorite songs. I had 3 of my own songs on the album only because I was getting screwed in the publishing deal and I knew it. So, and I was going to use part of that album. I call it like an international demo because it helped me get the deal with Polygram, It was only released in Japan and in Finland, in Scandinavia. And it was okay considering the circumstances, but anyway, it helped me to get the deal. So I got signed to Polygram at the end of that year, and then it took me another year before I got into the studio.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of legal hassles and setbacks. I was going to use part of the old album, my own songs, and I couldn't anymore because the Finnish record label started demanding all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, and saying, oh, no, he's making it big time, right? I could hardly, get food on my table,
Yeah.
It's been hard, and there's been a lot of setbacks and frustrations and stuff, but I think when I finally got into the studio to make Let's Bake It and finish it, we did it in 2 months.
Oh, really?
The whole thing, including mixing. I think it comes out, all those setbacks and frustrations come out in the right way, it's not self-indulgent, but sort of, it's a lot of energy, and it's the result of all these years, whatever, really, I found a way to channel my energies into writing. I started writing songs because I was going nuts for a while, so I couldn't go on tour. But I started writing songs, and actually, it's the first time I'm writing all my lyrics myself. It's been Hanoi. Andy McCoy used to write all the songs. So we did that. Actually, yeah. I did not faking it, and that's, I didn't choose the time to come back. It just happened this way,
Sometimes that's better, huh?
Yeah, and I've had time to think of what I really want to do as a solo artist, and, I'm a rocker. A straightforward rock and roll is more like, it's a little different from Hanoi's stuff, because Hanoi had more parts in the songs, and there was all kinds of different stuff, which was cool.
Well, didn't some other people help you out on the new album?
Yeah.
Besides Little Steven?
Well, Little Steven mainly. We did half the production over at his house,
Yeah.
Well, we arranged like most of the songs together, and we wrote a couple together. Dead Jello, Rock and Roll, and Smokescreen. And Steven wrote this one song for me, While You Were Looking at Me, which is one of my favorites. It's got great lyrics. And Ian Hunter, Ian Hunter he just plays piano and She's No Angel.
And Kenny Aronson?
Kenny Aronson, yep. Kenny Aronson plays bass.
And your guitar
Everybody
player?
knows Kenny Aronson, of course, right? And the guitar player, Phil Grandy, who's playing with Joe Cocker now. He played on Joe Cocker's last couple of albums. And
he does the solo part in When the Night Comes?
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
He's a great guitarist. And Nasty Suicide, actually, he helped out with getting that sound on those rockers, like that Gel Rock and Roll and She's No Angel. While you're looking at me, he plays rhythm guitar. And he's got that edge, that really adds to that. It helps get that live feel, because I didn't want to overproduce this album. I wanted it to be a straightforward rock album, all killers, no fillers, and have the live feel and still the rough edge there. Mm-hmm. So Nasty's rhythm guitarist, he's like that, Nobody plays like him, Mm-hmm. He's Phil Grant is unbelievable guitar player, it's great, but his timing is so impeccable that Nasty was good to use him to trash it up a little, so make it mm-hmm. more rock and roll. And Michael Fondelli, the producer, he understood. We connected good, and he understood what I wanted to do, and it worked out real good. I think he did a great job,
Well, do you ever see any of the old members of Hanoi Rocks? Do you ever see them around?
Yeah, I see Sammy. I've seen it. Sammy and Nasty I've met. I saw Nasty just when we were in Finland doing some press. I did a little PR tour, promotional tour in Europe, and I went to Finland too. Germany and England and Sweden. In Finland I met Nasty. We were hanging together. He's doing good.
Is he in a band?
He's got his own band, Cheap and Nasty.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to get something together in London. But and Sammy's in Jetboy, the band Jetboy, and they're just working on a new album.
So at the time that Hanoi Rocks was, really starting to make it big, when was that? Was that
84.
84.
We started 1979, 80.
So this was pre-Guns N' Roses,
No, way before them.
Pre-Motley Crue, everything, and they...
No, Motley Crue was around. I think they started around a few months after we started. But, they're like heavy metal band, we weren't really a heavy metal band, we were a rock band, and I don't know, this is 84 when Razzle died. It was around this time, it was kind of freaky, because we played the Peabody's where we're going to play tonight, and I was so glad they ended up being the last gig that Hanoi Rocks ever did. So it's funny, it's around the same time of year, it was
be a lot of adrenaline going on.
Yeah, it was a weird gig too, I remember, because I had my ankle broken. I broke my ankle in Syracuse, and we did Toronto and Chicago. Chicago was Razzle's birthday. It was the 2nd of December. And that was a week before he died.
Yeah. Well, Well, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it.
I was going to ask you, do you foresee, or would you like to see your current band take the road that Hanoi Rocks was on the way to, that same type of music, or do you find yourself in the same genre?
When Hanoi was honest, simple, real rock and roll. It's no gimmicks and not trying to be anything. The sloppiness and all that, it was part of it. This band is more like my band. I can see that this, but it is not going to be like Hanoi Rocks, because Hanoi Rocks is a band you can't recreate.
Yeah.
So Hanoi was a thing in itself. I'm happy with my new band. I think they're great. They're great players and nice guys, and they're real good. And I think it's working well. There's a good energy there.
Yeah.
And it's working. I can't really compare it with Hanoi Rocks, because I'm solo now,
Yeah.
It's, it's different, but it's straightforward, kick-ass rock and roll, and it's really... you mean successful vibes?
Or the same, the same, I don't know if I want to say the hardness of it all, or,
yeah, it's a tough band,
Yeah. Toughness,
Yeah, well...
As you said, you can't recreate Hanoi Rocks.
Because Hanoi Rocks happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. It was natural. We grew up together. We were so young when we started, and that's also why the band split up, because of the drummer's death,
Yeah.
Because Razzle died and Sammy left, and, it was not the same anymore. It would have been selling out or whatever. We tried some guys, and it was really weird. It didn't work out, and they tried to get some reunions and stuff, a while ago, there was an offer to go to Japan and do a tour for $250,000 or something. And that's when I was really having a hard time, but everybody was calling me. I said, shame on you. You can't let Hanoi rest in peace with Razzle.
Right. So, well, things are going great now.
Yeah, it seems like it. I'm real happy. I'm ready for anything. Whatever's gonna happen. I mean, in a way, I kind of feel like I'm just starting myself, because Hanoi was like, in a way, it was like a good school.
That's funny.
That kind of was my.
Well, you
school.
deserve success.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you talking to us. All right.
Thank you. It's
Thanks.
nice being here. Nice talking to you. Thanks for listening.